Always a pleasure. So this poem corresponds to chapter 6 of Yuppies Invade My House at Dinner Time. And this poem was actually quite amusing to write, as amusing as it was to read about the politician that this was about, which is Tom Vezzetti. He was definitely quite the character. And in chapter 6, there are a few sayings that Vezzetti would use throughout his campaign. I will read two of them. So the first one on page 51. The administration has two types of people working for them, idiots and gangsters. And I'm not this good, they're that bad. And his most famous one was always a pleasure. So that is where I get the name for this poem. While it's mostly about Vezzetti, I also touch on some characteristics of other politicians, namely who Vezzetti was running against, who had quite a handle on politics at the time in Hoboken, who was Mayor Steve Capelio, who was referred to as the Law. So, a couple of things in this poem. So, he, as I said, he was quite the character. Some people listening to this will probably know more things about him than I do from reading about him. But he was noted to carry a bullhorn. He was disruptive in meetings and was paranoid, probably not to a fault, that there were secret meetings and things of that nature. And I compare him in the beginning to Jose Marti, who was noted to have begun or to have had a big stake in the Cuban Revolution in the late 1800s, who was a poet. And Vezzetti, unlike people of his age bracket, actually had a degree, and he was not shy about that. So I will begin reading Always a Pleasure. It is my pleasure to take this bullhorn, not so much Marti, but boasting a degree, unlike his contemporaries, to blow off some steam. And it's on the mind of every television set, back-talking armchairs, exuberant digits, so much a comic relief in the airs. What is playing by the rules when you are the rule among players? How many fingers do you see waving in your face when you've been made to a putty pooling before the gangsters of the city? Dirty Jersey, the deli's open-faced mafia sandwich. Who is the law? A clown prince or frontal assault? Well-oiled machines run a long time. Not just one flower worn on the chest, but a whole garden abreast. Someone must have done something right. People keep moving to Hoboken.